Welcome, have a nice day. Today is Wednesday, 24th of July 2024. This day is celebrated as International Self-Care Day, observed on 24th July, encourages everyone to take better care of themselves. It is a day to learn about self-care and how small daily actions can boost health and happiness. Start your journey to well-being today. What happened today in history? 24 July in 1985, Indian Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi signed a peace accord with the Sikh leader Harjan Singh Longwal to settle the three-year Punjab crisis. Based on the Gregorian calendar, July 24 marks the 205th day of the year and 206th day during a leap year. Starting the newspaper analyst with the newspaper, The Hindu stated that Kamala Harris urged Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu to end the war and suffering of Palestinian civilians in Gaza. Vice President Kamala Harris. Vice President Harris is likely to tell Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu that it is time for the war to end in a way where Israel is secure. All hostages are released, the suffering of Palestinian civilians in Gaza ends. United States Vice President Kamala Harris will meet the visiting Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at the White House this week, but will not be able to preside over a joint session of the United States Congress, which will be addressed by him, according to her aide. Morning Digest in Nirmala Sitharaman changes strategy with a slew of schemes in 2024 budget for India blocks CMs into boycott Niti Aayog meet on July 27 and more. Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman receives a warm welcome from BJP women workers on her arrival at the party's headquarters in New Delhi on Tuesday. Budget 2024, Nirmala Sitharaman signals shift from earlier trickle-down strategy to slew of schemes. The union budget of 24-25, in my view, has certainly drawn up a detailed roadmap and laid foundations for Amrit Kal to pursue the goal of the Viksit Bharat. The government has articulated well its planning out to foster long-term growth drivers for sustainable development, improvement in all productivity, and creating opportunity for all. Empowering women, a pathway to transformative change. The Union Budget 2024 had laid out a visionary path for our nation, emphasizing four pillars of priority: Garib, poor, Mahila, women, Yuva, youth, and Ananda, farmer. Ananda. This comprehensive focus is designed to foster economic growth, social equity, and inclusivity across the nation. Budget 2024, a blueprint for sustainable growth and employment. Logistics as a sector is a significant employment generator and therefore I will be a beneficiary of the employment incentives. R. Dinesh. I would like to congratulate the Finance Minister for laying a well-defined roadmap for Viksit Bharat 2047 while continuing the focus on the immediate requirement. The budget 2024 has rightly placed emphasis on the infrastructure development, MSIME, skill development and job creation. There are a couple of areas that may merit further consideration by the government, including general fiscal measures outside PLIs, extending the corporate tax window and incentives for R&D. The world is witnessing unprecedented disruptions and uncertainty. India, however, presents the promise of growth, stability, and opportunities for investment. Now, going towards the Hindustan Revenue states that Center asks Pune Corps to give details about the material status of IAS prohibitioner Pooja Khedkar's parents. Center asks Pune Corps to give details about the material status of IAS probationer Pooja Khedkar's parents. Pune. The center has directed the Pune police to apprise it of the martial status of the parents of controversial IS probationer Pooja Khedkar, amid allegations that she fraudulently availed of the OBC non-creamy layer benefit in the UPSC exam by claiming that they were separated, an official said. So they killed as RA files infiltration in bid in Punish. A soldier was killed during an exchange of fire with the infiltrating terrorists along the line of control in the Batal sector of the Punish district during the wee hours of Tuesday, officials said. The deceased was identified as a Lansi Naik Subhash Chandra of the 7th Chet Regiment. Chandra hailed from the Nagla Mani village in the Hathras district of Uttar Pradesh. During an infiltration bid, Lance Naik Subhash Chandra out of the ambush on the LOC at Batal area of Krishna Ghati sector in Pune district suffered a critical injuries in the exchange of fire, officials said. There was a suspicious movement by two terrorists around 3 a.m. They were fired upon by the soldiers. However, Lance Naik Chandra suffered serious injuries in the exchange of fire, they added. United Kingdom Foreign Secretary David Lammy to push for partnership reset with India. Britain's Foreign Secretary David Lammy British Foreign Secretary David Lammy will push for a reset of the Indian-UK partnership during his visit to New Delhi this week, reinforcing Britain's commitment. New Delhi is this week reinforcing Britain's commitment to securing a free trade agreement that benefits both the countries. Going towards the budget of the country, government hikes long-term capital gains tax to 12.5% from 10%, clamps down on F&O trading, raises STT. In the Union Budget 2024-25, Sitaraman announced an increase in the long-term capital gains (ILT/CG) on all financial and non-financial assets to 12.5% from the 10%. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman on Tuesday raised the taxation on income on short-term and long-term capital gains, and also doubled the securities transaction tax (STT) on futures and options of securities. In the Union Budget 2024-25, Sitharaman announced an increase in the long-term capital gains (LT/CG) on all financial and non-financial assets to 12.5% from 10%. However, the exemption limit of Rs 1 lakh crore for LT/CG on these assets has also increased to Rs 1.25 lakh. The rate on short-term capital gains (ST/CG) has been hiked to 20% from 15%. The new rates on LT/CG and ST/CG are applicable from July 23. In a bid to check the exponential rise in the volume in the derivative segment, Sitharaman proposed to double the securities transactions tax (STT) on futures and options of securities effective October 1st, 2024. Budget 2024 central subsidy bill to fall at 5-year low in 2024-25. The subsidy bill peaks at Rs 7,58,165 crore, that is 3.8% of GDP in 2020-2021, which is expected to fall to Rs 4,28,423 crore. That is 1.4% in the current year. Lower spend is on account of two factors. The fertilizer supply situation is comfortable for now with the planting of kharif crops in the full swing. Gold prices plunged by 5 BC after duty cut ahead of the interim budget in February month. The government has increased the duty on import of gold and silver to 15% from the then prevailing rate of 10%. Gold prices plummeted by over 5% after Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman announced a sharp import duty cut in gold and silver prices. Gold loan companies reacted sharply on the stock exchanges. Muthoot Finance fell 4.25% and Manappuram Finance by 5.62%. Now going towards the world news, we have Kamala Harris kicks off Wisconsin campaign with the enthusiasm and purpose. At least 6 people are dead and 7 are missing after a fishing vessel sinks in the South Atlantic. President Biden returns to White House after testing negative for COVID-19. A group of 2,000 migrants advanced through southern Mexico in hopes of reaching the United States. Kamala Harris leads Trump with a small margin in the United States presidential race. New poll. Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina says army was deployed to to ensure securities of lives and properties. Now going to science and tech, we have drug used to treat clots can protect against cobra venom damage. Moving with the snakes is a tricky business. Even more dangerous is the task of the rearing poisonous reptiles and extracting their venom of medical research. Here, Romulus or Whittaker holds a cobra, which puncturing a rubber sheet and stretching over a cup with its fangs. Researchers found that tinzaparian significantly reduced damage to human cells due to the spitting cobra venom. The plant start human trials soon. Orange red color and a native of Tanzania, the Naja pallida, the red spitting cobra, is a formidable 1.2-meter long foil. When threatened, it raises its hood and hisses loudly. If this display does not deter its predator, it opens its mouth muscular around the snake's venom glands fees, releasing jets of venom onto the eyes, nose, and mouth of the threat. As the victim's face sears in the pain, the cobra takes the opportunity to line forward and bite, delivering a massive quantity of the venom into the victim's body. Budget 2024 urban rural and land reforms welcome move by government. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said rural land related actions will include assignment of unique land parcel identification numbers of Aadhaar for the lands. Overall, better land registers and cadastral maps are key to understanding land use around the country. The 2024-25 budget union presented by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman promised a few reforms related to land and land use in the country, ranging from their identification to planning and potentially drawing from multiple domains. Supreme Court delivers split verdict on nod for chia mustard. Image for representational purpose only. The Supreme Court on July 23 pronounced a split verdict on the validity of the Centre's 2022 decision granting conditional approval for environmental release of genetically modified GM mustard crops. The bench of Justice B.V. Nagarantana and Sanjay Karol, however, asked the Centre to formulate a national policy with regard to the GM crops for research, cultivation, trade, and commerce in the country. The Supreme Court on July 23 pronounced a split verdict on the validity of the Centre's 2022 decision granting conditional approval for environmental release of genetically modified mustard crops. Cough syrup samples fail quality tests, Central Drug Regulators report. The CDSCO report classified these batches as not of standard quality NSQ due to the issue with the diethylene glycol (DEG), ethylene glycol (EG) assay, microbial growth, pH, and volume. Cough syrup samples from 100 pharmaceutical units in the country did not pass quality tests, as per the recent reports by the Central Drugs Standard Control Organization (CDSCO). HIV/AIDS key interventions and progress so far. With the 25 International AIDS Conference underway, we examine the interventions that seek to prevent the transmission of HIV/AIDS and improve the quality of life of persons living with the HIV. From the July 2022, from July 22 to July 26, which plays a host to AIDS 2024, the 25th International AIDS Conference, also accessible virtually to participants across the globe. The conference will see an estimated 15,000 participants living with the affected by and working on the HIV share knowledge, best practices and lessons learned from the HIV response over the past 40 years, as well as from the response to COVID-19, Mpox, and other public health threats. United Nations says nearly 40 million people had HIV in 2023. Lack of treatment means someone died every minute. The proportion of new infections globally among the marginalized communities that face stigma and discrimination, sex workers, men who have sex with men, and people who injected drugs also increased to 55% in 2023 from 45% in 2010, the report said. While advances are being made to end the global AIDS pandemic, the United Nations report said progress has slowed. Funding is shrinking and new infections are rising. They are in three regions: the Middle East and North Africa, Eastern Europe and Central Asia, and Latin America. Nearly 40 million people were living with the HIV virus that caused AIDS last year. 19 million were not getting any treatment, and the result was that every minute someone died of AIDS-related causes. The United Nations said in a new report launched on July 2022. Monday, July 22 on 2024. Class, this is a famous quotation said by Mother Teresa, whose full name was Mother Teresa Bojaziu, whose birth anniversary was 26th of August 1910 to 5 September 1997. Better known as Mother Teresa, was an Albanian Indian Catholic nun and the founder of the Missionaries of Charity. Born in Skopje, then part of the Ottoman Empire, at the age of 18 she moved to Ireland and later to India, where she lived most of her life. On September 2016, she was canonized by the Catholic Church as Saint Teresa of Calcutta. The anniversary of her death, 5 September, is her feast day. Mother Teresa received several honors, including the 1962 Roman Magsaysay Peace Prize and the 1979 Nobel Peace Prize. A controversial figure during her life and after her death, Mother Teresa was admired by many of her charitable work, but was criticized for her views on abortion and contraception, as well as the poor conditions in her house for the dying. Her authorized biography, written by Naveen Chawla, was published in 1992, and she has been subject of many other works. On 6 September 2017, Mother Teresa and Saint Francis Xavier were named co-patrons of the Roman Catholic Archdiocese of Calcutta. Mother Teresa says a famous quotation. She says that not all of us can do great things, but we can do small things with a great love. Okay, thank you.